When we're tracking macros and we're using that as our like nutrition management philosophy, we have to track all the meals, even ones that are kind of hard to track because we had brunch at our parents' house and we didn't get to weigh and measure everything. We still need to do our best to track this meal, the best estimation of it that we can, in order to see how it plays into our day and then make sure that by the end of the day, we're hitting as close as we can to our macro targets, even though we're estimating. So here's how I did that as an example with this specific brunch meal. We had bagels with cream cheese and lox and all the good fixins. I made like an egg and turkey sausage and tater tot casserole. There was some fruit salad and also a delicious cinnamon coffee crumb cake. I'm just gonna look at each component, track that individually in the estimated portion that I ate, and then the totals are gonna be as close as I can get without like whipping out my scale at the table, which I'm just not gonna do. So for the bagel, I had half of a whole wheat bagel with just a little bit of cream cheese on it and then some smoked salmon, tomato, and capers. So I tracked this as half of a Starbucks whole wheat bagel. It was not from Starbucks, but that's going to give me a decent estimation of half of a whole wheat bagel. So I tracked that. I tracked 1 tablespoon of cream cheese. I think that's pretty accurate as to how much I put on there. I don't like a ton of cream cheese, so it was just a nice little layer. And I tracked 2 ounces of the smoked salmon, which is just an estimation of the portion that I fit on that half of the bagel. For this egg, turkey sausage, and tater tot casserole, I made it so I know exactly what was in the dish. And I had prepared for myself a little separate one that didn't have any cheese in it because I don't like hot cheese, but there was cheese in the main one. So I didn't estimate any cheese, but I estimated that I had about half of a whole egg and about 100 grams of egg whites because I had supplemented some egg whites in there, 1 patty of the turkey sausage that I used, and about 7 or 8 tater tots total. So I tracked each of those components individually. For this fruit salad, I just tracked a cup of honeydew melon. I'm aware that that's not all honeydew melon, but the cup of honeydew melon is going to cover that amount of carbs from the fruit salad. And then this coffee cake I also made, but it's a boxed cake mix. And this is actually only half my piece. I started eating it before I took the picture. So I looked at the total prepared macros for that boxed cake mix, looked at the amount, the portion of that I had, which I estimated was about 1/12 because we cut the cake into 12 pieces and I had one of those. So I tracked 1/12 of the fully prepared mix, and that's going to cover the cake. So all of that added together gave me about 820 calories, 45 grams of protein. Is this a perfect exact tracking of the macros of that plate? No, that would be impossible, but it is close enough that I can make sure I'm taking into account what I had at that meal and then making sure that the rest of my day follows accordingly so that I end up hitting my macro targets by the end of the day.